Terry Reynolds. Let me just find you. Okay, I see. So if you could just start the recording, Terry, and give me a thumbs up when it's going.
It's going.
Great. Brian Miller, this is Joe Cerruti, the director of the Alexandria Harmonizers, coming to you with installment number 2 of Get Your Butt Out of That Hospital Bed, my friend. We are on a Zoom call with 60 of your dearest friends and chorus mates who are all sending the most positive thoughts your way. And we are going to go through another exciting round of all of your friends just sending some well wishes. But we couldn't start it off with anyone but Masuma. So Masuma, why don't you take this away for us?
Hey, honey. So as Joe says, this is take 2. And you know I hate public speaking. So these guys were kind enough to honor me a second chance at this. So hopefully I don't mess it up. Many of the people on the call know that we met on a trip to Uzbekistan. And if it wasn't for Bilal, I wouldn't have actually gone on that trip. So we owe a lot to Bilal. But one of the things from that trip, I think when Catherine was doing the name calls for the pairings for the day, and she couldn't read her handwriting, and she called you Iran. And I thought, you know, we all thought that was brilliant, and you just became Iran for the rest of that trip. Also, I know you won't appreciate this, but if you do take much longer to get your ass out of bed, I promise you, the whole of America will be calling chicken sandwiches chicken burgers. Now, I know how much you hate that. So if you don't want that to happen, move your ass, get out of bed, get better, and get home. Plus, I've learned many secrets. I'm learning things I never knew about you. And I've always said to you, you should write a book on your travels. Actually, I'm beginning to think a book of Brian Miller secrets written by me would be more interesting. Also, watching Disney Plus without you just isn't the same. So I need you to keep fighting. I need you to get better. And I love you lots, and I miss you like crazy.
Thank you, Masuma. We're thinking about you too. Let's go to August and Athena.
Hey, Brian, this is August. Brother, you got to get up, man. I remember I got 3 things to tell you here. First thing is, remember our inside joke about the 2 words, you know, back when we first started hanging out together. And now I got 2 new words for you, brother. Get up. You need to get up, brother. You need to fight this. Second thing is, you know, you and I are not strangers to miracles. Remember when I was taking you to the Dulles airport, and somehow through my expert navigational brain of mine, I got lost. And we ended up on the Dulles toll road, got up to the toll booth, and we had no money, no change whatsoever. And there was a whole line of cars behind us. We couldn't back out of there. Lo and behold, I opened the door, looked down, and there was just enough quarters on the ground to pay for our toll. So, brother, we're not strangers to miracles here, brother. You can hold on. You can hang on. You have a lot of people who love you and are praying for you. This bromance can't go with one, brother. We got to keep this bromance going. So you need to get out of bed so we can make my wife and Masuma kind of wonder what we're up to. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Athena.
Hey, Brian. Wishing you a speedy recovery. You need to get out of bed because life is just not the same without the phrase. An interesting fact about that. So there's many more interesting facts that you need to tell us about. And Brian, I don't know, you're the only person that could bring 2 phone calls almost back to back with over 60 people. You've touched so many people's lives. Even just briefly, a good friend of mine reached out to me because she had heard that you were under the weather and needed some prayers. And you met her once at August and my wedding. And she just remembered how well you emceed our reception and your sense of humor. And you met her once. So like I said, there's so many more interesting facts that you need to tell us about. So, and I will not hear those facts unless they're from your mouth.
Love you, brother.
Thanks, August and Athena. Let's go to Ali, Mariyam, and Z.
Okay, Brian, it's Mariyam. I will start because if I don't start and you don't wake up, you'll never get me to stop talking. So let me first say, Brian, that you are driving all of us crazy. And this is not really take 2. This is actually take 3. And you are the only one who can pull this many people from this many corners of the world together like this to share this many secrets. Speaking of secrets, Brian, yeah, so a little boo-boo. I didn't know that you hadn't told Masuma about those broken ukuleles. So, you know, she also shared with us the story of the coconuts, and we're very honored that you decided to call her a coconut after our wedding. So with that, all I want to say is, Brian, you survived our wedding. You have not survived, you have more than surmounted blindness and shown that it is no big deal. You can kick this little virus, Brian. You have to overcome your fears. You have to find your strength. You have to use that brain that you have when it's not being stubborn and hard-headed. And you have to get better for your family, for Masuma, for your friends, for all of us, for your choir, so that we can hear your voice again. You have to get better. So get your ass out of bed, Brian. We want to see you soon. We love you. Over to Ali.
Hey, Brian, it's Ali. I was thinking about something, and actually, Athena alluded to it when she said an interesting fact about that. So this was the last day of formal ceremonies of our wedding in India, and several of us were in the car driving from the hotel to the reception site. And I was kind of nervous about this because I was going to be riding a horse. Now, I was excited about riding a horse, but I hadn't ridden a horse in more years than I can count. So I'm trying to be silly, la, 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 la. So we're in the car, and somebody, I don't remember, it might have been me, started singing Yankee Doodle. And there was a young lady in the car, and she said, "That's a nursery rhyme." And we said, "Yep." And Brian said, "An interesting fact about that." And he went on to relay the entire story about how Yankee Doodle became a song. You know, we're talking back in the American Revolution, and that it was just hilarious.
More information than that little girl needed to know.
She did. Then what made me, I don't know why I did it, but you know, my second name now is Ali, and one of us started singing Prince Ali, Handsome as He, from Aladdin, whereupon Brian picked it up in, you know, full-throated Brian Miller voice, and then the young lady started singing along too. I will never forget that time in the car, and you need to come back so we can discuss it and I can tease you more, and so that there can be more stories just like this. So make it happen. Use your stubborn brain. Come back. We're all waiting for you. We want to see you soon.
Hi, Brian. This is Zainab. Speaking of music, do you remember how at the formal reception on the last day during lunch, the salt dish comes out and we tell you it's an American flag, and who's the one to break out into America the Beautiful and start us off? Why, one Brian Miller. And it was really memorable considering.
It was a great service to India. And
yes, it was.
India loves you for it.
Yes, it was. It was a fantastic service to India, and they need more of it. But speaking of that too, you have the opportunity to ride a train. But here's the thing, Brian, unless you come out of it marginally traumatized, you haven't quite ridden it properly. And you need to kick this virus's butt so you can go to India and ride the train for real, like an actual local. So please get better soon. We hope to see you up and about. And we just want to tell you that the bailiffs are sending their love your way as well. Get better, get up. It's time to go, man.
Thanks, folks. Let's turn to Gina Harper.
Hi, Brian. It's Gina Harper. I'm in beautiful downtown Davis, California today, and it's 75 degrees, and happy Easter. I don't think you want to keep missing holidays, so hurry it up over there. And a few things I wanted to share is that I'm super busy at work because the stock market is going crazy. It might improve if you get up, so that would really help. And so I'm on client calls many hours of the day. And then during this time I've been doing a lot of fun Zoom things and WhatsApp stuff. So a girlfriend of mine in the UK and her exercise trainer in Prague and I did a really hard workout yesterday on a WhatsApp video call, and that was amazing, and I'm really sore today. And the last thing is what you can do for me, which is the most important, is get up and get better, because Jim Barbour is mostly kicking my butt in backgammon, and I might win the current game, but it's much more fun to have you to play with as well instead of just playing with Jim. So love you, hugs, get up, and miss you. Feel better soon.
Thanks, Gina. Let's go to Bonnie and Bob.
Hey, Brian, this is Bonnie O'Day, and I'll be brief. We're supposed to be brief, but you need to get better for 2 reasons. Number one, you had invited me up to your place for some really nice wine. I've definitely learned that I need to start drinking more costly wine from you, but I need to go taste some so I know what to buy. And secondly, you said you would support my application for a position in Alexandria, and I know I won't get it unless they can call you and you can recommend me. So please, please hurry up and get better. So here's Bob.
Hey, Brian, it's Bob. We're all pulling for you at the Alexandria chapter of the NFB, and I think we had such a good round of meetings in your party room. We have to schedule a special meeting when you're out of bed and back in shape so we can celebrate in your party room. So hang in, we're thinking about you.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Bonnie and Bob. Let's go to Maria Ramirez.
Hi there, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian. It's Maria.
And João. And João.
So we're calling from Lisbon to check you out. I hope you're feeling better. We are expecting to arrange with you and Masuma a second trip to Portugal, because we have the north of the country to explore. And let me tell you, amazing food and amazing wine. So get better soon. Also, my brother Miguel sends hello, and he would like you to come to play chess with him. So get well soon. We love you a lot, and we are expecting you to come back.
Get well soon, Brian. Get well, Brian. Bye.
Thanks, folks. So Brian, I did everything in my power to keep my father off of the very first Zoom call, but he insisted on being on this Zoom call, so I will pass it to my father, Joe Sr.
Brian! Hey, listen, my concern, I heard the first Zoom call, and we definitely want you all to get better. We want you to get better and everything, but your doctors, nurses, caregivers, they actually don't know who they have there that they're taking care of. And we got to tell them that you are a rock star. So we want you back on the rises. And listen, the next show, we are going to get all your caregivers, your doctors, nurses, everybody. We're going to give them free tickets so they can see exactly what you do on the rises with the harmonizer. So listen, get better soon. We're going to show off a little bit, and with the other conversations, I heard that you are a backgammon player. So the only thing that you are going to actually lose in is backgammon to me. So we're going to have to play a game. You get well soon. We'll see you on the rises. Bye-bye.
All right. That's my dad, Brian. Speaking of which, Brian, you are also missing Tiger King. I don't know why I'm putting those two things together, but you're missing Tiger King right now, Brian. It's a really important thing that's going on in life right now. Let's turn it to Adrijana.
Hey, Brian, hope you're keeping well and recovering. And remember that cookbook that I sent you, that you promised me that you would cook some of the recipes and that you would invite friends and family over for a party. So you better get up and fulfill your promise. And also, you promised me you would keep visiting more and more Eastern European places to try out different foods and hang out with different people and all that. So you better move and fulfill all your promises and tell me all about them. So take care and keep well, and make sure you make a recording back to us so we hear how you're doing.
Thank you, Adriana. Let's turn it to apparently the backgammon king, Jim Barbour.
Hello, Brian. How are you? I miss you and love you so much. I just want you to know that I really need you to get up and get better soon, because you and I need to plan our culinary European trip, which we've been talking about for a while. I just want you to know, brother, I love you and I miss you and I'm thinking about you every day. So please hurry up and get better so that we can move on with our lives. So take care, brother.
Thanks, Jim. Sylvia.
Hi, Sylvia. Happy to be able to on this call. You know, I know that there's been a lot of we haven't been on vacation. I remember you going to Camp and I with you a couple years ago or so. Remember, I found you on Facebook. I have had so many nice conversations with you, and we've always talked about your travel for us to talk, because I never know when you're home. Now you're home, you're at Hospital. I'm making it for anyone to talk to you. So I was planning to try to talk to you when you got from your trip, but unfortunately that didn't. So you can find this within yourself to just be able to have the strength to with your body right now. It'll be okay. Diet not the end. I remember it. So don't just think of everything that we're all doing and that, and hope I'm looking for our because right now it's kind of with this way that we have to stay home. So I'm really looking forward to having out to be able to talk to you again. Just want you to know that I you and from so many people. And I say today, Easter, happy Easter to you, and to come.
Thank you, Sylvia. Let's go to Mary Fernandez.
Hello, Brian Miller. First of all, I know that you have some basic dramatic training, but really, my friend, this has gone a little too far. So it's really time to, come back out of your hospital. Also, Brian, I mean, I always knew you had a lot of women fanatics in your club, but now they're trading secrets, and Mariyam and I have started texting each other, and I think I know why you were trying to keep us away from each other, because it was going to be dangerous for you. So, there's that to look forward to when you get out of this, and I'm sure Masuma is going to have a lot of questions for you when this is all said and done. As for me, I have shared 0 secrets, just FYI. I'm good. So anyway, miss you. You really need to get out of bed so you can see what happened to Joe Exotic, who we were first introduced to memorably in a John Oliver episode that you and I watched. It is the guy who ran for president in Florida, and he is now the star of a Netflix show called Tiger King, and he's in jail. And in the last press conference that Trump had, they asked him if he was going to pardon him. So this is what's happening in the world, and you're missing it because you're in bed. So get out of bed and come back to us as soon as you can, okay? Sending you much love. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mary, and my apologies, Brian. I didn't know that you were familiar with the Tiger King. I look forward to hearing more about that when you get out of bed. Let's go to Anna Gibbons.
Hey, Brian, the last thing I remember doing with you is playing Categories at virtual game night and just rolling my eyes all night at your ridiculous arguments, your long-winded arguments about all your defending your answers and arguing with everyone else's answers. And that's why I need you to hurry up and get better. I miss rolling my eyes at you and arguing with you and giving you a hard time. So hurry up.
Thanks, Anna. Let's go to Susie.
Hey, Brian, it's Susie. Just want to let you know that I'm thinking about you and sending prayers. I know you got this, though. We all know how strong your lungs are from all that harmonizer singing. So you need to get better so that you can tackle all those lists of yours. The list of places to travel, places to eat, books to read, fancy alcohol to drink. And I need you to tell me about your travels, send me articles about chaos happening in Cameroon, and tell me all the fun history facts that only you would know. I also want to tell you about my new guide dog and all his shenanigans, like how on the second day of work, he stole a sandwich off the low shelf of a cart. That was great. I also want to let you know how much I appreciate you being one of my first friends when I moved to Virginia. You're incredibly welcoming and great at connecting people. Anyways, we love and miss you, so please, please, please get your ass out of bed.
You tell him, Susie. Let's go to Deepa.
Hey, Brian, it's Deepa. You know, I talked to you the day before you went into the hospital. We had a long conversation, and you told me about your travels to Jordan and how you had to come back 2 days later because they were sealing the border, and you got the last flight back to Baltimore. And you know, you were telling me about all the cool stuff that you saw in that one day you were there. And I need more of those stories. Like, I need to hear all about your adventures. I already heard about the train story in India and from Mariyam's wedding. And, you know, I need more of those stories because they're just so interesting. And I also still need your historical trivia because when I was in Japan, you were telling me about the airport that I was flying out of and how there was a historical story to that about how secure it was and why. And I just found that so interesting. You're always telling me about stuff that I never knew about, and I need all those stories. And you know, speaking of cool stories, like you introduced me to Nikki Jeffers at my game night at my house that you came to, and we played a lot of cool games, and we played a good card game. And then you texted me after you got home, I think it was later that night or the next day, and you told me that you accidentally took my Joker card. And so I still need that Joker card back. You haven't given it back to me yet. And you also promised to host a game night at your house soon. And, you know, you haven't fulfilled that promise yet. So we have to get together when this is all over, and you have to host a game night. So I really need you to get better. I know it's difficult, but I know you are really strong and persistent, and you never give up, and you have to just not give up right now. You have to find it in you to keep pushing through and get better, because we're all waiting for you, and we have a lot of more funny stories to share, and I need to hear more trivia. You're also my theater buddy. We're supposed to go see a show with the Harmonizers. We were going to reschedule it after the coronavirus was over. So, you know, I need you to continue to be my theater buddy and go with me to more shows. So please get better. We love you, and we're not giving up on you.
Thank you, Deepa. Just a reminder to everyone, please mute your calls. We've got some noise bleeding through, so if you can, please mute your calls. And let's go to Lynette.
Hi guys, hi Iran. It's Lynette here, otherwise known as Mrs. Mole. And I have a very simple message for you from all our old Uzbekistan gang. That's Jess, Kate, Katie, Bilal, who I think may be talking later, and so on. Oh, and Dick, of course, Dick, who could forget Dick? The message is this: we haven't finished teaching you to speak proper English yet. I bet you're still saying tomato, aren't you? And glacier instead of glacier? Well, it's got to stop. You've got to get your finger out. You've got to get the hell out of bed so we can finish your education properly. But seriously, my old friend, this is the time you get your finger out and you fight the fight of your life. We all know you can do it. We're following your progress day by day. We can't wait to have you back and bouncing. So just get cracking, will you? Mole and I and all the gang send you our very best love. And go for it, man. Just go for it. Bye.
Thank you, Lynette. And I didn't know that's how you say glacier, so I will take note of that. I appreciate it. Let's go to Christine Grassman.
Hey, Brian. I am waiting for you so that we can watch the whole first season of Picard. And I'm waiting for you to do that. And I'm really tired of this whimsical romp through the intensive care unit that you're doing. You need to stop it. You're acting like you were kicked in the head by a horse, and it's not acceptable. So you need to get out of bed and get out here and watch Picard with me and play backgammon and kick my butt and let me complain about work. And we need to make each other laugh. So let's do it. Let's go. Enough of this. Move it and get out of there so that we can have fun and enjoy the spring that's coming.
Thanks, Christine. Aaron Simino.
Hi, Brian. The great Dr. Miller. This is Aaron, your little brother, speaking. And I'm here in my apartment sporting my lovely quarantine beard. And I just wanted to tell you, you need to get better so that we can go to Port City with Evil Brian, share a few pints and a few stories about girls. And he has graciously offered to treat us on our next trip. Also, we need to geek out over linguistics and history and politics over a few of your expensive scotches that taste strangely enough like Sharpie. So anyway, I miss you, and you need to get better soon so we can hang out. Love you, brother. Take care.
Aaron, if the scotch he was giving you tasted like Sharpie, he was probably pranking you. Brian, you are missing out on an epic quarantine beard of Aaron's. If Deli Girl were to see it, she would be absolutely smitten. Let's go to Dan and Renee.
Hi, Brian. This is Renee. I miss you, and I can't wait for you to get better so I can see you, get you a bottle of Switchback Ale, and we can talk about Frog Rock. All right, here's Dan.
Brian, it's Dan Fry, and I hope that you are hearing this and working toward getting better. All of us on this phone line, we believe in you and care about you and genuinely want in our own special ways to reconnect. For me, it'd just be another quiet dinner over another type of ethnic food that I've never enjoyed. I've always said that you were my vicarious way of traveling around the world, and I still have a lot of traveling that needs to be vicariously accomplished. Now, minding the instructions given earlier, I will keep it short, except to say that I care for you very much and wish to see you when you feel better. And to all of those who have helped to care for you, let me just take a moment to acknowledge and thank you for caring for someone who is truly remarkable and impactful in all of our lives. Be well.
Thanks, Dan and Renee. Joanne and Harold Wilson.
Hi, Brian. This is Joanne and Harold Wilson. And I know you of all people love, love, love adventures and new experiences. But you have taken this to the ultimate now. This experience, you've had it, but you've got to get out of it now. No more of it, Brian. We need to have time to sit over a nice dinner and talk about your experience, your reflections, and your wisdom. We love you, Brian, and hope to see you soon.
Brian, this is Harold. Just wishing you the very best. And you got to get out of that bed and hospital real soon, because there are so many stories and rumors floating around and only you can tell us if it's true or not. Get well soon. We love you.
Thank you. Bilal Hussain.
Hello, Brian. It's Bilal. As you probably guessed, there's 3 reasons why you need to get out of that bed. First reason is that you need to tell me about the plov workshop and how we didn't get to make the plov, because your imitation of me, I don't think anybody else is able to imitate me as best as you do. Secondly, you need to tell me the story about how you kicked the trash can, as you guys call it, because I heard that you kicked a few in with the times when you walked into stuff. So you need to tell me about that story again. And thirdly, I need to teach you how to say the word yogurt instead of yogurt. So you need to get out of that bed. We need to have you back so I can come and visit you in America, and you can kind of show me all around and tell me about all of the history. We're praying for you, and we're hoping that you recover and get better as soon as possible. Take care, my good friend, and hopefully we will speak to you very, very soon.
Thank you, Bilal. Let's go to Brian Buhrow. Brian?
Hey, yes, this is Brian, and I've been listening to all these people talk about how much they love you and they want to see you, and I certainly want to add my voice to that. And I want to add my 3 reasons why you need to get your butt out of that bed and get yourself back on the street. The first is that every year, for many years, I would come to Washington seminar, and you and I would organize a trip to Nando's Chicken. Now, we haven't done that for a little while for various reasons, but we need to do that again. The last time we did it, I think we filled up the restaurant with 40+ people, which is an amazing number. The second reason that you need to get yourself out of bed is you were gracious enough to give me your PhD thesis to read some years ago, and I actually read it. But we've never had a chance to discuss the implications of this thesis, and we've always said that we would get together and do that. So we need to do that. And the final yourself out of bed is that I have been working for you, and you don't even know it. You have been engaged in this ongoing backgammon tournament with Jim Barbour. Now, I don't know how you do it, but I'm also engaged in a backgammon tournament with Jim Barbour, and it is horribly difficult to keep track of the score. So I wrote you a web page so that you can keep track of your score with Jim and make sure that you can win without him cheating. So get yourself out of bed and fulfill these 3 reasons, and do it soon, because we're all getting impatient. And the bills, oh man, the bills. Anyway, don't worry about that. Get up, get out, and let's get together soon in Washington. Over and out. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Let's hear from Sailor.
Hey, Brian, it's Sailor. And ironically, I'm sitting here wearing our Bogota Beer Company shirt from our most recent trip when we were in Bogota, Colombia. And just remembering that you are definitely a building block of my life. I can't remember a time you weren't part of my day-to-day or my week-to-week ever since we were, 12 years old. And we've traveled a lot together, and it's been always a lot of fun and experiencing new experiences and just having amazing times together. One of my favorites, and probably one of the most unusual, was the time that you and I decided to take a city bus from San Diego to Los Angeles to go see Genesis at the Forum. So we started bright and early that morning, and we went north on the city bus and transferred to another city bus and then transferred to another city bus, and then found ourselves stuck where we couldn't get from San Diego to Los Angeles. So remember, we ended up stowing away on the Amtrak train, only to get busted by the conductor, and we had to run when they stopped the bus to get out. And on the way back, we had to take the bus back, but we ended up hitching a ride with some guy that stopped at Denny's for food and then ditched us with a tab. But we made it home and lived to tell the tale, one of many, many tales. Anyway, you need to get up, you need to get out. We have more traveling to do. We have no more adventures to go on together and have wonderful times. And besides, we've been friends so long that you're the only person I know that we can have complete conversations and movie quotes, much to the chagrin of those around us. You just need to get up, Brian. We got a lot more things to get taken care of, a lot more things to get done. I haven't even seen you this year. This show's from May. So get up, get out, and let's do some more traveling, Brian. I love you, and I miss you. So get your ass out of bed.
Well said, Sailor. Let's go to Fred.
Brian, it's Fred Schroeder, and I hope you're feeling better. We need you back as soon as possible. I love reading your posts on Facebook when you travel around, and I don't know if you realize just how encouraging your Facebook posts are. I think that blind people around the world, we think about being able to live a full and productive life, and of course that involves being able to get from place to place, being able to work, get an education, cook a meal. But your posts remind us that we really can live a full and active life and do the things that we want to do and not worry so much about the what if this and how will I that, but just go and immerse yourself in life. And I love reading your posts and vicariously getting to experience some of those things with you. Brian, when I think of you, the word that comes to mind is kindness. And I think your many friends really speak to that quality that you have. And not sure you realize just how many lives you've touched, not so much by what you do, but just that human kindness that you express toward everyone you meet. It means a lot to people, and there are a lot of people still who need that Brian kindness. So get well, my friend.
Thank you, Fred. Let's go to Connie.
Hey, Brian, it's Connie, sending you lots of love from Southern California, where it's supposed to never rain, but it kind of is. Anyway, you do have to get better because there's very, very few people who have friends in the 30-year mark, and that's what we are. My most favorite memory is that I was the first one in our group to actually get married and start having kids, and you literally held every single one of them. So they are also praying for you because you're their Uncle Brian. And so as soon as you get better, you need to come out here, and me and Danny and the kids, we will all cook for you and make sure you're nice and fat and happy. So if that won't get you out of bed, because you know I can cook, that'll get you out of bed. No one else will, but you gotta fight, okay? Come back to us. We love you so much and we're praying for you. God bless.
Thanks, Connie. Let's go to Paige.
Hey, Brian, this is Paige. So this really is take two of this call. So for everyone who already heard what I have to say, sorry, you have to hear it again. But Nikki told me to say something dirty. And so I had to think back to the Mardi Gras party, where, as you know, the entry fee was that everyone had to flash me. So it's already about to be May. You better get your ass out of bed and start working on your Mardi Gras body, Brian, because you got to show me the boobies to get the beads. Love you. Hope you feel better.
Great. Let's go to Nikki Jeffords.
Hey, Brian, this is Nikki. I know you love to tease me about all the peroxide I use in my hair, and I regret to inform you that I'm now hearing voices. And more specifically, I'm hearing your voice in my head. For example, right now, I hear you saying, in your radio announcer voice, of course, Brian Miller, this is your life. So what I'd like to say to you is that I love you. I think I love you more than my own brother. Sorry, Mom and Dad. I owe you such a huge debt of gratitude. I know I say it often, but you've changed my life. You've helped me to gain an opportunity that I will never be able to repay. Team 3 needs you, Brian. I send get well wishes from Emily and David in Iowa, and Cynthia and Kathy in North Carolina, and Cheryl in Texas. Everybody's rooting for you, Brian. And like I said on our last call, Roseanne's calling me instead of you, so please take that off of my shoulders and get back here and work on these state plans with me, please. You've taught me so much. You've taught me how to be a better hostess. You've just shared random facts, and I just can't imagine life without you. You've gotta be strong, and we've got lots and lots more parties to have, and I just can't wait for you to be well. The other voice that I hear in my head that is yours is saying, this is rubbish. This virus is not going to take me down. So, Brian, it is rubbish, and you can do it. Take care. I can't wait to see you soon.
Thanks, Nikki. Let's go to Chuck Hunter. Chuck Hunter.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulty. Brian, I need you to get better so that next year we can sing the Put Together Quartet contest together, since we didn't manage to do that this year. And I also just wanted to point out that since we're recording this on Easter, this is the day of all days to remember that even in the darkest times, there's hope. Get better.
Thanks, Chuck. Stephanie Heidel.
Hey, East meets West, it's me, and I just wanted to tell you, you're really important to me for so many years now. We've traveled far and wide, but we've also had the really quiet moments together, feeling very, just remembering all of our amazing times. And I wanted to say that I don't have anyone to talk about folk and poetry with, or the phone sanitizers with, so I really, really need you back to talk about that and what's going on. But really, I want you to remember this moment in New Mexico after we had traversed back and forth a few times, and with our little red Mustang convertible, which we got in trouble for, and it was totally worth getting in trouble for. And that moment where in White Sands National Park, at sunset, where I pulled over and let you get behind the wheel, and yeah, that was amazing. So I need you to come back, because we have more adventures to do like that. And you're really important to me. And also I know that Elizabeth and Pamela send their love.
All right. Thanks, Stephanie. I would love to hear more about Brian getting behind the wheel of a car.
It was frightening.
Yeah, I can imagine. Let's go to Steve Lingo.
Hey, Brian, long time no see, pun intended. Wow, where do I even start? So many great memories going back to the Harmonizer days. And yeah, you've just been a real inspiration to myself and so many others, as you've heard on this call. And there's 2 more pages of people on this Zoom call waiting to talk. So fasten your seatbelt there, buddy. A lot of people are rooting for you and are super eager to see you again. I'm also going to make you a promise, might be a bit of a threat, but you might recall that we did a road trip once, you and Chuck Hunter and I, from Virginia to some competition in Maryland. And when you get your ass out of the sack there, I'll fly back, and if we can get Chuck there, we'll do another road trip wherever you want and bring whoever you want. I'll make you that promise. Also, if you get down to Mexico, I'll meet you at the airport and we'll give you whatever kind of trip you want. So there you go. You've got 2 opportunities to make me an honest man. Good luck, buddy.
Great seeing you, Steve. Let's go to Alan Weil. Alan, you just got to unmute. There you go.
Okay, it still shows mute on here. Hey, Brian, it's Alan Weil, and we both know people that have done the extreme things in order to get attention and get noticed. But this is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. You got a whole bunch of people here on the call and elsewhere who are pulling for you, anxious to have you back on the risers, singing and so forth. So let's not fool around with it anymore. Get on with it and make this a really happy Easter. We're all cheering for you and for all of your caregivers. Get on with it.
Thanks, Alan. Let's go to Noah Van Gilder.
Hey, Brian, this is Noah. There's a truckload of harmonizers on this call, and we're just all here waiting for you to get up out of bed and come back to rehearsal. If you don't come back, then who's gonna show me up on all the choreography, man? So get well, get up out of bed on this Easter Sunday. I'm Jewish myself, but I'm told it's a good day for rising and getting up. So anyway, heal up quick, buddy. We need you back, and you can do this. Kick its ass.
Well said, Noah. Let's go to Jerry and Rona.
Hello, Brian. We miss you. We miss all the culinary experiences that we have with Mariyam and Ali. We take a tour of, the East just because our conversations and good food. But I won't.
And music.
And music, yeah. And
the Aka Challenge and all of that.
there was one experience I believe we had where we were all in a car being driven by another blind person in I think it was Florida.
No,
Some, yeah.
Whatever, the one next to Missouri.
Yeah, but let's just say I being the only sighted guy and not behind the wheel was a unique experience. But get up, get out of bed. Let's have some more adventures. I'll turn it over to my wife.
Yeah, we're sending you, our Bible study and everybody else sending you love and aloha, and hope you get up soon, and aloha nui la, ahui ho.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Thanks. I'm hearing this opportunity now, Brian, for you to get up and start blind Uber, like this extreme sports kind of. It sounds like an opportunity for you, Brian. Let's go to Frank Fedarko.
Hey, Brian, Frank Fedarko here. Wanted to say that you're missing a glorious Easter Sunday. You know, I went outside and was communing with a little nature, and I could have sworn I heard her asking, "Where the heck is that Brian? He should be out here celebrating with the rest of us." I got to tell you, buddy, everything I'm hearing from these snippets of stories about the life and adventures of Brian make me believe that there's a little more Indiana Jones in you than I might have ever thought possible. Or maybe it's Where's Waldo? I don't know. Can't be sure. Anyway, I know we got a lot of songs left to sing, and I want you to get off your back, Jack. Get up, join me, and we'll go over to Clyde Cruisenberry's house, because I have it on good authority that he's got a rather nice Scotch bar. So we can raid that and sing some songs. Get up, buddy. I'm looking forward to having you back on the risers. Love you.
Thanks, Frank. Let's go to Mick Stamps. Mick Stamps. Mick Stamps, going once. Going twice. Brian, Mick Stamps says hello. Let's go to Will Cox.
Brian. Hey, buddy.
Hi, Brian.
Anna Ruth and I just want you to know that we've been thinking about you. We're praying for you. As we're listening to all these folks talk about you, I'm looking forward to getting knowing you better. That's all. You're just something else, buddy. And I hope it's soon. So get your ass out of that bed. We love you.
Thanks, Will. Let's go to Mike Schwartz.
Hey, Brian, it's Mike. Listen, I'm 2 minutes away, so hurry down. I understand that the harmonizers got Steve Tramack to write a new ending to the Armed Forces medley with a whole section for the Space Force. And they even said that they got Cy Wood to do choreo for it. So you'll just have to let me know when you're ready to start working on that. We can do it. Afterwards, we'll get back together at your place and we'll finish off that bottle of Glen Kinchy. I think we're going to need it. Take it easy, buddy. See you soon.
Thanks for that reminder, Mike. I forgot to mention that to Brian. That's great news. Let's go to Nina Marie.
Brian, this is Nina Marie. Please keep fighting, keep working to get well. You have so much life left to live. And it's obvious that you're loved and needed by so many. I personally miss your cheery smile and your blind guy photography posts. I'm sending you lots of love from my whole family. Get well soon.
Thanks, Nina Marie. Let's go to Vanessa Resler.
Hey, Brian, it's Vanessa. I think we have a lot more movies to watch, and we have a lot more Oscar predictions for you to be right about and me to be wrong about. And I hear a lot of people mentioning drinking scotch with you, and I'd like to get on that list too. Talk to you soon, Brian.
Thanks, Vanessa. Roxanne Covert.
Hey, Brian Miller. I have 4 things for you. 1, we haven't drank enough beer together yet. 2, we've still got a lot of traveling to do. Remember, we just talked about it was our 30-year anniversary since we traveled to China. Isn't that crazy? 3, I need to hear more crazy movie quotes from you. And 4, I have not met Masuma yet. So hi, Masuma. I hope to meet you soon. I love you tons, Brian, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Roxanne. Before we turn it back to Masuma for closing remarks, is there anyone who joined later in the call that was hoping to say something that didn't get a chance to? We'll take a moment for any of you who would like to say something that we did not call out.
Caitlin McIntyre.
Go for it. Oh, sorry.
Hey, is it okay?
Yes, of course it is.
Okay, great. Thank you, Brian. It's Caitlin, and sending this from Ithaca, New York. You are so loved by all these people. It's very obvious on this call. So many people just want you to know how much we love you and miss you. And I have been praying for you, Brian, and Luke and I and my parents all say hello. And I will fondly remember when we met back in 2014, you were my absolute favorite NFB scholarship finalist mentor, of course, and I had no idea it was your first year being a mentor, and you made me laugh all the way through general session, and it was just such a blessing to get to know you, and it's been a blessing to catch up almost every year at conventions since then, and in Arizona and other places. And you got to get better so you can go on that 180-day world cruise, because that is definitely calling your name. And I just wanted to send you a little message to let you know how much you mean to so many. So here's just a quick little song. When I am down and oh, my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be. Get well, Brian.
Thanks, Caitlin. Anyone else would like to say something before we finish up? All right, hearing nothing, we'll turn it over to you, Masuma, for final remarks.
Hey, baby. So firstly, I just want to say that Mary Jo and Michael are sending their love and they're thinking of you lots. I've been staying in touch with them via email. And staying on the theme of coconuts, you know, Mariyam, Ali, Zainab and I have been thinking about this, and for every day that you stay in bed, I think we may have to start sending a coconut to your house. So there'll be a nice little surprise for you when you're home. And on the theme of backgammon, you'll be pleased to know that I've been playing with Jim, and my very first game, I absolutely kicked his ass and beat him 15-0. I learned from the best, what can I say? Also, if I stop receiving my bite-sized history lessons from you, I can promise you history will be lost on me, and I know how much you would hate that. And you know I have a goal for reading for this year, so I need you to keep me on track with my reading goal. And if you spend much more time in bed, you won't have read as many books as you want to read. So to help yourself and me, you need to get up. I just want you to know that I'm praying for you always. We all are. I mean, there literally is an army full of people praying for you to get better. I need you to overcome your fear, to be strong, to keep fighting. And I want you to know that I love you with all my heart.
Thank you, Masuma. Our thoughts are with you and Brian and his family, and we're all here for you. We're thinking about you. And Terry Reynolds, who is hosting this call, has the ability to unmute everyone without you doing anything. So Terry, if you could unmute everyone, and we'll all just kind of shout some well wishes to Brian, and we'll end the call. Brian, we are wishing you well, and we cannot thank enough all of the caretakers who are taking care of you. They don't have a clue what kind of rock star you are. So thank you to everyone who's taking the time to play this recording for Brian. Let's have at it, everyone. Wish Brian some well wishes.
We love you, Brian. Get well, Brian.
Soon, Brian.
That kick line to
Love you, Brian.
Thanks so much.
Get well, Brian.
Love you.
Get well, baby. I love you.
Get out of bed.
Look forward to seeing you soon.
All right.
You have very aggressive friends, Brian.
I think you do it. You can do it.
All right, and we can stop the recording there.